Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm painting a Krieg veteran Guardsman, a member of the command squad included in the Siege Platoon box. I wish to apologize for the rushed nature of this video. To be honest, I started recording at 3 AM on Friday, with a publication at 2 PM on Friday. It's been a crazy week, but I still gotta take care of my fans. Let's get into it. To kick this whole thing off, I'll be starting with the mini primed in black, and I'll be painting the coat in the traditional Thunderhawk blue. I have to make sure the command element resembles the rest of the Krieg force that I have set up for painting. As you can see, the paint is watered down quite a bit, so that means a lot of additional coats to ensure that I have the right opacity. Now, for the command team, I do kind of want to change it up a little bit. To help make the command team stand out ever so slightly, I will be painting the pants in a dark Prussian blue. Gotta keep my Krieg looking classy.
Hell yes.
Back to leveling out the Thunderhawk blue. This is gonna be a bit of a recurring theme for this video.
Oh, goody.
Fortunately for us, the majority of the chest is covered by a breastplate, saving some time in that regard. If you like what you're watching, consider hitting like and subscribe. It would be great if you did. I'd really appreciate it. I'm really trying to hit 125 subscribers by the end of the year. It would mean a whole lot to me if you helped me out with that goal. I appreciate y'all. With the first coat of blue laid down and drying, I want to get some of the accessories and the leather straps painted up to try and take advantage of this time. I want to make this book appear leather-bound without it disappearing in with the rest of the leather webbing on his back, so I'm using an orange-brown to make it a little bit different. For the leather webbing, the first thing I'm doing is I'm applying more of a cork brown to try and set the base tone, and then I'm going to edge highlight with a brighter orange-brown to really sell the worn appearance of the leather. Following the same procedure to paint the holster, I want to try and make it look as though it's been worn and used for several decades. The same applies for the boots. I really want to try and make them look worn and dingy. For the leg wraps, or putties, I'll be painting them in a khaki that will also match the base color for the mask later in the video. With the putties painted, I want to pick out the Purity Seal's prayer scroll that is wrapped around the book, and this is to help ward off the evil spirits of the void, keeping the Guardsman's thoughts and intentions clear in combat. I realized that I missed a pouch on his right hip, so it's time for me to go ahead and address that now. To paint the chest plate, I'm going to be using a dark gunmetal. I really want to try and sell the idea that this plate is very, very old and has seen several years of combat. Perhaps it was passed down from one veteran guardsman to another. I knew I missed a spot. Let's touch that up and get it all squared away. Now to paint the hose for the mask, base layer for the mask, and start painting the crest on the chest plate. The mask is going to require several coats to try and level out the paint. As you can see, the opacity is not quite there yet. While I'm working with the gold paint, I might as well begin painting the hose attachment and then picking out the buttons on his jacket as well. I want to try and make the end of this holster a little bit different, so I'm also going to paint that gold to try and show his seniority within the ranks. Now for the second coat being applied to the mask. That looks so much better than it did before. I noticed that the chest plate had a penetration hole in the front, so I want to try and pick that out with a brighter metallic paint. It's subtle, but at just the right angles, it's a nice touch. For the gloves, I'll be painting those in a matching khaki to the putties and mask. That'll tie it all together and make it look uniform. With the gloves now painted, it's time to pick out the eye lenses. Deathcore of Krieg always have bright red lenses, ominously looking over the stretches of no man's land. For his crush cap, I'm going to pick that out in a light gray, and then I'm going to dull that down during the Agrax Earthshade coat. For the chin strap and cap badge, I will pick those out in gold, showing his leadership position among the ranks. For his sidearm, I'll be picking out the individual panels in different shades of gray. I'd like to try and draw attention to the individual panels and make it easier to identify on such a small scale. For the blade of his power saber, I'll be using a slightly brightened gunmetal. I want to try and not have it as bright as a pure steel or aluminum. I want to try and give it some age. For the basket hilt, stereotypical gold.
I love gold!
For the muzzle of his sidearm, I'll be using gunmetal again to try and pick it out and show some wear and a little bit of chipping on it. Now for the leather webbing and the holster, I will be edge highlighting with that bright orange brown that I was talking about. It will add that wear and tear appearance to the overall look. Now for some final touch-ups of the blue before I start moving on to the weathering effects. Oops, forgot the buckles. Better pick those out now. For the skulls on the sidearm, I'll pick those out in gold. That's generally the uniform I have for the Krieg. It's decal time! After applying a gloss varnish, I've applied the decal. Now it's just about trying to get it all lined up. Once it's lined up, I'm going to hit it with a little bit of satin varnish. It would appear the decal has other plans. Well, if it's not going to let me brush it, I'm going to airbrush it in varnish. Here we go! VMS to the rescue. I love this stuff. By all means, you need to check that stuff out. For the texture paint, I'll be using AK Interactive's diorama effects. This stuff is fantastic. It's a huge jar and it only costs like 12 bucks. It's fantastic. I love this stuff. No, that's not me realizing I missed a whole section of plastic under the guy's foot. What are you talking about?
Oh, no, 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 no. It wasn't me.
Now to dirty up all that hard work we've done. You know, a dirty Krieg is the best Krieg.
Yeah, boy.
You gotta remember, the Krieg are the Empire's premier siege force. They are filthy. You gotta make them look right, because if they're all clean, they're not having a good time. Now with them properly filthy, time to apply some heat and get them to dry faster. Now with them dry, I can start applying the top texture paint. I'm using Valhallan Blizzard.
How original.
To help tie them in with the rest of the force. I know it's nothing new to my channel, but in all honesty, fighting in the cold sucks. Everything hurts, your morale is devastated, everything's wet, and you just want to try and find somewhere warm and dry. For the rim of the base, I'm going to tie it in with the environment and paint it in Celestial Gray, and that'll finish this one up. Thank you again for joining me. And there you have it, everybody. That is one Krieg veteran guardsman painted up, ready to join the rest of the command squad. I wish to apologize again for the rushed nature of this video. This week has been crazy, as I'm sure it's been for all of y'all, but I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all for the support. I'll keep them coming. How about you consider checking out some of my other videos, like the ones listed here? You may enjoy them, and I hope you do. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. Thanks again, and happy holidays.